do a lot of this work in the winter time, and it's always very hard to do it in the winter. Often it's quite cold, and then the ground is frozen, so we have to use a special attachment called a ripper, scratch through the frost. So we have to bring in a bigger excavator because then it's heavier and it gets through the frost easier. So today it's a little bit rainy, so it's muddy. It's not much fun for the guys. But whatever. This is my work. Been doing it for quite a few years now. I like doing it. You don't have to dig very deep. It's fairly simple. You can make it really nice, and the guys love it. A little bit like pipeline, just not as deep. And I know some pipeline isn't that deep. But you're working in more confined areas, and smaller machine. This is a 160 Hitachi pipeline. They're always using, like, I don't know, I think anywhere from a 250 to a 350, sometimes a 450. More extreme cases, I guess. We don't have any bulldozers. We don't have side booms, but we've got rubber tire backhoes. We've got real trailers with pipe and cable. This is a little more precise too. I'm working in the town of Steinbach, and they always do everything kind of half-assed here, and they're kind of a pain in the butt to work for, this town. Slow. It's all by the hour, and this old machine squeaks a lot. A little over 11,000 hours, 11,083 hours on it, so never had anything done to the engine or the pumps or anything like that, or the drive motors or the swing. Swing bearing probably will need replacement. I think it's got a lot of play in it. Single hydraulic pump, so it's not quite as fast and powerful as some of the others, especially the newer ones. They're quite powerful and fast, but it works by the hour, so race it later today. It was pouring yesterday, so I didn't get a chance, but I give it lots of grease, still squeaks. It's old, like me. So right here is where we have a service. House or two of them in the corner here, and so what we do then is I dig out this little box here. It doesn't have to be precise or anything. It's just what they do is there's two upside down wood boxes, basically. You could say it's an open bottom box, and you have a coil of wires and pipe that go in one, and then the other one has a coil of natural gas pipe that goes in it. And then when house is built and they're ready to hook up the utilities, they just trench up to where these boxes are, and the natural gas box will have a yellow pipe that kind of sticks out of the ground on it, so they know where to hook up to, and they trench back to the house, and then they hook everything up, and then they can energize it and get the house all hooked up, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So all I do here is I dig out the hole, and I kind of have to clean the trench out as I go along. I'll make a ramp along the side here so they can walk in and out easily. They have to, the natural gas pipe requires something called a T. Everybody knows what a pipe T is, basically, but it's fused onto the pipe, and then they tap it, and then they have natural gas going to the end of the service, basically service wind. And then when we get to the end of the job and everything's been backfilled, then they can energize the pipe with natural gas, and they basically have it charged with compressed air while we're doing this, or nitrogen sometimes if we don't have a working air compressor, and then they flush the air out of the system, chase it out with the natural gas, and then the whole subdivision has active natural gas. So that makes sense, but yeah. And there's a different crew that comes along, and we put in these green boxes, and that's a transformer, so it reduces the electricity, let's say, from 7,200 volts down to 240 volts for each service. And they do all the connections in that green box that sits on the ground. You don't want to go into that box because it's energized, and the voltage in it going into it can be as high as 14,400 volts in some cases. So that will kill you. But unfortunately, there are some people that think they're going to make money off of the copper that's in there. There's copper ground wires, and they use it to support their drug habit or whatever. And I think there's been a couple of electrocutions because of that. So a little bit of Darwinism there. I hope this all works out. other connections for the service and put in the coils of cable and that sort of thing, can get in and out of the trench easier. It's nicer if you can make steps, but with the type of bucket teeth I have here, I don't make very nice steps. So I just do it as a ramp, and sometimes this just ends up being a lot easier with the type of soils we have too. It doesn't help when it's raining though. Everything's sticking. Just try to brush the sides here so we don't get lumps and clumps rolling off and getting underfoot. Just try to make it safe. Right there's a little lump. Take that off with the tooth. Kind of like to have a straight cutting edge actually on this bucket. I don't do any welding, otherwise I'd go and make one. Just use a piece of old grater blade or something. And you just weld it across your two corner teeth. So then when you just want the teeth, then you just take off blade at those two corner teeth. So it's like an attachment kind of. Pay attention to what I'm doing. I've been an excavator operator for almost 27 years now. You can see how I kind of drag the heel of the bucket through so then the bottom is smooth. To work in sewer and water in Edmonton and a little bit in Calgary, and that was one of the things was that because we're always working deeply, anywhere from maybe 3 meters all the way down to beyond 10 meters in some cases. So you always brush the sides off. That's a rock right there. So you always brush those sides so then a lump doesn't roll down and take out somebody's knee or leg or something like that. When you're more than 3 or 4 meters deep, a big lump of mud or dirt, whatever, can seriously injure somebody. So all our trenches there were V'd out. I'm not that deep here. I'm just around 4 feet. I do brush aside so lumps don't roll off and get underfoot, kind of thing, and nobody has to do any shoveling, or at least you hope not. But it's not quite as big a concern. Some guys don't do any of this stuff that I do. Barely even make ramps, but they don't have as much experience. And they don't care. As I do. Because I've been down there. Top's wet, but the mud down below is dry, so then dry always sticks to wet.